Last year he ran very well around 2 turns at Saratoga on a firm course. I wasn't sure that he would rate that kindly here at Belmont on a 1-turn mile, but we decided in that race that it was the best time to try.
Back on Belmont Park Live, there's a farrier doing some work. Getting the horse's feet in tip-top shape. Kendrick Carmouche doing his part, keeping this horse on the front end. Canarsie Kid, second off the layoff. And the slight drop down in class for the Mike Maselli barn with the victory, $6.30.
Yeah, congratulations. A 7-year-old gelding belonged to me out of the Smart Strike mare. Smart, Gabriella, load of luck stables. And sometimes you want to look at things and go wonder, why does this horse win this race? Lone Speed won, but look at the record at Belmont. Now 3 out of 4 wins here.
Good point. Mission Command again, just edging out. Tis a chance for second there. 8, 9, 6, the early pick 5.
You got that about 4 times, right?
Coming back 5,497. Not bad. I wish. Let's go down to the winner's circle. Here's Maggie.
Thanks. Here with trainer Mike Maselli and Canarsie Kid. Mike, it seems the faster he can go, the better he runs.
Yeah, he loves the front end, Maggie. When he gets the front end, he gets pretty brave. He's a courageous old horse. He's 7 years old, and he tries every time you put him out there.
I was going to say, you don't get the opportunity to run him against fellow New York breds that often. Do you think that really helped him today as well?
Well, it's a definite edge, that's for sure. Not to be with Open Company, but he's run well also with the Open Company, but he rose to the occasion today. We were happy for him,
Am I right in saying that he's almost built more like a quarter horse than a thoroughbred?
Definitely, yeah. He's a blocky little guy and got a big drivetrain to him, and he moves very well.
Will he go up to Saratoga?
Yes, he will, yeah.
Great. Looking forward to the 5.5s up there. Mike, congratulations today.
Maggie, thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
Maggie, thank you. All right, so we're going to see more from the 7-year-old later this summer.
Excited to see that. And, yeah, I mean, this was an impressive performance. And he clearly just needed his last race. And maybe he can tackle bigger and better things over the summer up at the spot.
Why not, right? He's got a pretty good record at 5.5 furlongs, too.
Absolutely. Up next, race 6, it's the late pick 4. 7 furlongs over the turf, 40,000 claiming racehorses who have not won 2 lifetime in this spot. Charnley River used to show speed going longer, shortened up last start, now more of a stalking type, claimed last time out.
I think that this horse is the horse to beat. First off, the claim for Robert Falcone. Got this horse off of Christophe Clement, but he just seems to me that he is the true turf sprinter in here, and he comes out of a decent race.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back much more on race number 6 when we return, and a preview to this weekend in the Forbidden Apple. Voodoo Song, the 4-time winner at last year's Saratoga meet, and a graded stakes winner. Looking to take on Disco Partner. We'll talk about it next.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With NyraBets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NyraBets.com.
Bayern turning for home in front. Coast of New York on the outside. California Chrome is third. Shared Belief laboring back there in fifth. 1 furlong to run. Bayern, Coast of New York. California Chrome on the outside. The 3 of them come to the wire. Bayern, Coast of New York. California Chrome. Here's the finish. Bayern holds on.
Last year he ran very well around 2 turns at Saratoga on a firm course. I wasn't sure that he would rate that kindly here at Belmont on a 1-turn mile, but we decided in that race that it was the best time to try him behind, coming from behind, and I was pleased with his performance. We're hoping that he can go to Saratoga and at least win a race. I mean, after last year was just spectacular, but you don't get that, every year. And we're hoping he goes up there and races well. We know he likes the course, but for right now, we're just going to take it race at a time.
Back on Belmont Park Live, brought to you by Claiborne Farm. We have the late pick 4 coming up in just a moment. This weekend, we have a cross-country pick 4. Delaware Park, the Kent Stakes, and the Delaware Handicap. Gabby Gaudette hitting the road as soon as we're off air, I think. And races 8 and 9 for Belmont will be part of that sequence. You could play it at NYRABets.com. Go to NYRA.com/cross-country. And let's go through it very quickly here and start with that Kent 3-year-old, mile and 1/8 on the turf. Gabby, an Untamed Domain back in action for Grand Motion.
Exactly. He's making his 3rd start off of the layoff here, and last seen in the Pennine Ridge. This was him in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Obviously, a stellar performance from him here that day. Now, Grand Motion saying that in the Pennine Ridge, he just had no pace to run at. He was more forwardly placed in there, and this is not how this horse wants to run. He's a horse that wants some pace in front of him and wants to close from off of it. So I think in the Kent Stakes on Saturday, he's going to definitely get at least dynamics that he wants.
It's the first leg of the sequence. Here's a look at the field. Untamed Domain, 5-2 on the morning line for trainer Grand Motion. That is the first leg of the sequence. Leg number 2, we go to Belmont, 6 furlongs over the inner turf. Paul, you talk about a horse-loving course. Epping Forest certainly is that. 5 for 7 here.
Yeah, 5 for 10 lifetime. All 5 wins here. And, she was giant last time. They did not go a fast pace. She only had 1 race going into it since October 14th. And when you look at it, they were going like 45 and change to 57. You never thought she was ever going to get there, and she just does. Joel Rosario with a nice little hand ride towards the end, and she went off at about 2.5 to 1 almost, and she probably needed this race. Now, the worry is the way that the racetrack is playing now. Is it going to set up for this filly by exchange rates, late kick? Is there enough speed? There's not a ton of pace in here, but Epping Forest is definitely the filly to beat.
Delaware Handicap, 1.25 miles, fillies and mares, 3 and up. The distance, a big question mark for everybody, Gabby, except Elate, who's already proven last summer at the Alabama at Saratoga she could handle that distance.
You got to be so excited to see this filly back in action. She, of course, was so impressive in her debut as a 2-year-old and created a lot of buzz that she really lived up to, especially in this race. In the Beldame, we see her really kind of breaking on the scene, I would say, in the Coaching Club American Oaks. She followed that up with an impressive score in the Alabama. And in the Beldame, we saw something from her that we've never seen before in the past. And this was an explosive move, kind of splitting horses and going on from there. Excited to see her back in the Delaware Handicap on Saturday, a race that Bill Mott has won twice before in the past, of course, with the one and only Royal Delta.
Only seen her really one time off a layoff before. That was with 1 start under her belt in her career. She would lose that race. She'd run second. She's obviously much more seasoned now, but coming off the bench, we'll see. The Forbidden Apple closes out this cross-country pick 4. 1 mile on the turf, and Voodoo Song for Linda Rice. We know how quick this horse is, and he had a super summer at Saratoga.
Voodoo Song, a.k.a. Greg Wolf's crush. This is a neat horse. Listen, this horse won 4 times at Saratoga last year, and everybody thought, okay, maybe it's a fluke, it's a horse for course. But, he's turned out to be the real deal. He was absolutely giant in the poker to be up on that pace. The other 2 horses that were up on the pace with him are dead last and last right now, and he kept on battling to the wire. Oscar Performance was just dynamic that day and then made you look. You can see Voodoo Song, I thought, finished well. Now he's got to deal with Disco Partner. Obviously, that big gray with $1.1 million in the bank, and then projected on the outside for the always dangerous Chad Brown. But it's going to be fun to watch Voodoo Song and Manuel Franco go.
Well, here's Linda Rice on her 4-year-old sensation and what lies ahead.
Ran very well around 2 turns at Saratoga on a firm course. I wasn't sure that he would rate that kindly here at Belmont on a 1-turn mile, but I was, we decided in that race that it was the best time to try him behind, coming from behind, and I was pleased with his performance. We're hoping that he can, go to Saratoga and at least win a race. I mean, after last year was just spectacular, but you don't get that, every year. And we're hoping he goes up there and races well. We know he likes the course, but for right now, we're just going to take it race at a time.
I would think prospects for Saratoga look pretty good. He seems to like it up there just a little bit. But first things first, big test on Saturday in the Forbidden Apple, going up against the likes of Disco Partner, Offering Plan, and Projected. This is going on tomorrow as well. Second chance cash back in a Delaware handicap. If Favor to Late finishes second, you can get your money back with Naira Bets. But $20 to win on any one horse in the race. If you finish second, you get your $20 back, so take your chance on a long shot or stick with the favorite. Either way, you get a second chance if you finish second with Naira Bets. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more to come. Stick around. The late pick 4 is next. We'll talk more. Race 6 when we return as we approach the 14-minute mark to post. And Charnley River, Kendrick Carmouche looking to go back-to-back.
International Super Sire Warfront. Among his 34 stakes horses in 2017 were Grade 1 winners American Patriot, Avenge, Roly Poly, War Flag, and Europe's champion 2-year-old colt, U.S. Navy Flag. Last year, Warfront was the nation's #1 sire in multiple categories. In the sales ring, his yearlings continue to bring prices well over $1 million. Warfront, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Welcome back to Belmont Park Live here on MSG Plus as we have horses in the paddock here for race number 6. It is a non-2 life for $40,000 as we are going the 7 furlongs on the Widener turf course. And we see favoritism going to number 10, Charnley River, first off the claim for trainer Rob Falcone. rightfully so. But the horse that's going to be likely second choice, I would say, is number 4, Lindbergh's Kitten for Wesley Ward. Now, this guy has some speed. Is he fast enough after cutting back in distance? I'm not sure. And he doesn't really tend to win if he isn't on the lead. But I can say that here in the paddock, he is really sharp. He is the sharpest horse here in the paddock overall that legitimately has a shot in this contest. And he looks fantastic here for his connection. So I think both these two top horses are certainly players in here and really have no knocks against them. As we'll take a look at a horse to the inside of Lindbergh's Kitten in number 3, Get Game, who is second off the layoff. And I really can excuse this horse's last 2 efforts, which came on tracks that were very sloppy, very wet, and he is the antithesis of a horse who likes that kind of going. He's this big lumbering type with these big feet that he just can't kind of get himself out of the mud, if you will. So getting back to the turf is ideal. This is his best surface, I think, and he looks really fit in here. He's actually come on from going from 3 to 4. He's matured, he's filled out, he's gotten even bigger, and I think Get Game has a legitimate shot in here for trainer John Terranova and Dylan Davis getting aboard. Taking a look at number 6, Desert Lights, who's taking a lot of money right now. I don't know if it's the Brad Cox factor or if there's some tip on this horse, but he did claim him from Mike Maker. I mean, that's one of the best turf trainers in the country. And while this horse did break his maiden on the main track and off the turf event, he is definitely more of a turf horse, don't get me wrong. And I do think going back to that first effort, which was on this surface, he just wasn't fit enough. He is that thicker bodied, kind of heavier type of animal that is going to take a while to get fit. And I must say that today he is by far the most fit that I've seen him, and now his 3rd career effort. So guys, will he be able to live up to the money here today?
Yeah, that is the big question. I think we're going to see these prices change, but that is interesting. But in the multi-race wagers, yeah, he's not the favorite, but he's going to be up there. What do you think?
Well, I think it's a horse you have to use. Listen, when Brad Cox claims a horse, you have to pay attention, especially to a guy that's 34% off the claim. He's good in putting blinkers on. He's good at everything. And I don't get that much money, but you have to respect.
Considering how wide open and confusing this race is,
That's
the fact
true.
that he's taking this much early money, he doesn't deserve to be 3 to 1 on the board right now. And usually when the public bets Brad's horses, they deliver.
Yeah.
This should, I think, 5th choice in the pick 3.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Makes a nice appearance, though. Here's the 10, Charnley River. Kendrick Carmouche will look to go back-to-back. This horse right now, the co-favorite, and this is a look at him in action back on May 26th.
And he finished a decent 3rd. I mean, it was just okay. He kind of showed a little bit of speed and then flattened out in the late stages of the race. But he was beaten by a horse by the name of Major Force, who came back to improve next out, getting a victory with an 82 Beyer speed figure. It is first off the claim. Christophe Clement does great work with his turf sprinters. Now it's in the Rob Falcone barn. But Rob Falcone has only claimed 3 turf sprinters in his career as a trainer. 2 of them have won.
That's a good stat I can't argue with. Pretty good one there, right? But, you know, does that horse warrant to be favoritism? I thought the efforts have been good. The worry is you see the 6 seconds in the column, and you worry if there's a little bit of hang, but he can definitely win this race.
Well, pace-wise, the 4, he wants to go, except there's some speed next door to him. We're going to take a look. There's Lindbergh's Kitten. He went gate to wire last time out. That was a mile and a 16th. He's going to shorten up today. He's shown speed going shorter distances, but River Knight, the 5, pretty quick, too, next door.
Yeah, I would think River Knight's going to go to the front end. I don't think Lindbergh's Kitten can get to the front. I think this horse can rate, at least at this distance, at 7 furlongs. The last race, he was definitely in hand, but he got away with an easy lead on a fast racetrack. This is going to be a little bit tougher, but I still think he's a player in here.
I'm not crazy about him. I think he is a horse that needs the lead, and I don't really like the fact that he's going to be in a chasing position. I think that things have improved for him since he got at a distance and could kind of harness his speed on the front end.
Do I need to separate you two?
Yeah.
Getting ugly up here.
Right?
Just a look at the performance last time out. Easy lead.
Listen.
He's obviously a player.
Yeah, but he's not moving like a tremendous machine, as Chick Hearn said. Okay, look.
Wrong lead.
Yeah, wrong lead. And finally gets, you know, never really does get to the right lead. But I just think that, how hot Wesley is and the way these horses come out of the gate, and he finally dropped this horse. The Ramseys, when they drop in the at-bet, they usually run okay. This horse didn't, and I think the horse is in good form, and there's not much pace in here. If I'm worried about River Knight, then I'm not liking the 4. Because the River Knight is just a pest. It's like River Knight would be like just a little pest that I think the 4 can put away. The 4 has to worry about all the other horses besides the 5.
Little gnat.
Isn't River Knight your selection, Gabby?
No. I didn't pick River Knight.
Oh, I thought you really liked him. Okay.
No.
$200 sign-up bonus.
You don't have to separate us yet.
Going on right now. New members, use the promo code LIVE to take advantage, and you can bet this race, this pick 4 that we have coming up here in just 6 minutes. You can get involved. Again, go to NyraBets.com, get signed up and started. Post parade coming up here in a moment. It's over $200,000 in this late pick 4 coming up. We're going to kick things off here in a moment with Tiz Always His Way for Aaron Wilkinson. 51-1 on the board.
And his form kind of reflects that, unfortunately. Today he's taken a big step up in class, last seen at the $16,000 level, now in for 40.
2-horse La Máquina Gris for Steve Asmussen, Irad Ortiz Jr. aboard.
This horse is a little bit of a wild card horse because, the Irad Ortiz gets aboard, and Asmussen is pretty okay on this move from maiden special weight to winners.
Yes, last time sprinting at Fairgrounds, he actually showed some talent on the surface. Get game to 3, Dylan Davis, John Terranova.
Actually broke his maiden sprinting on the turf. Hasn't been back sprinting on the turf since then.
Lindbergh's kit in the 4. We were talking about Luis Saez for Wesley Ward.
There's the white face and the Ramsey colors. I think maybe the horse to beat in here, the son of Kitten's Joy.
River Knights for Edmund Pringle.
1 for 45 on form, but could be that gnat that Paul was alluding to on the front end.
Still the favorite right now. This 6-horse Desert Lights. Brad Cox off the claimed off of Mike Maker.
Yeah, and they added blinkers last time, obviously worked, and Brad's taking his time with this Ridgeon by Desert Party.
Rappel, the 7. This is shocking, too, that he's this big a price.
He always makes that late run, but he's really starting to rack up those defeats.
Yeah, 1 for 18 lifetime. Bootleggers, the 9 junior Alvarado, Rudy Rodriguez.
And Bootlegger, second time for Rudy Rodriguez, could improve off of his last race. It was a tough race.
And Charlie River moving from Christophe Clement's barn to Robert Falcone. Kendrick Carmouche looking to go back-to-back.
Does not like to win races, but is this the horse that sits the tactical trip? Because that's what he has, tactical speed.
You might want to key that horse in second. 6 of 14 lifetime starts. That's where he has been. Here is the 6 who's continued to take all this money, opened as the favorite, and he still is off that 8-1 morning line, Desert Lights.
And look, he's first off the claim for Barn, who's, what, almost 35% off of the claim. But Maggie did make a valid point in that he's claiming him off of one of the top turf trainers in the country. So the question is, can he really move him forward and up off that? This horse has taken a lot of money in both of his 2 starts.
2 starts, yeah.
Well, what did he do wrong, Paul? I mean, first time is the only time he's been on the turf. That was his debut. And obviously probably got an education from it. He was beat less than 2 lengths.
Yeah, it was a good race, actually. He broke a little flat-footed and then got shuffled almost all the way back to last and made up some ground late, and that's why he got bet in his next start. They put blinkers on, and he won. A lot of people look at all these other buyer figures, and they see 77s, they see 80s, they see that. And, this horse can improve overnight, and especially in a barn like Brad Cox.
Meanwhile, there's the 10. There's Charnley River. And again, sat a stalking trip last time out, went shortening up in distance and coming in from Gulfstream.
Yeah, and he's got 6 seconds on form out of 14 starts, but many of those starts were against tougher company like Maiden Special Weight Company. And I actually think that he's going to be very good at the 7 furlongs. I think, 6 furlongs or even 5 furlongs might be a touch too short for him. That helps him get into that tactical position that with his positional speed.
The crazy part about the 10, I don't know how to put this. This is a 40,000 non-2. This horse was second in a grade 1. Second in a grade 1 in Australia.
Let's go downstairs to Maggie Wolfendale for more.
Here with trainer Rob Falcone, who will send out Charnley River. And Paul just mentioned that this guy is second in a grade 1 in Australia. Now, this is the first time, though, Rob, that he's actually getting to run the 7 furlongs here in the States. How do you think this distance suits him today?
I think it fits him perfectly, actually. You know, it seems like at a mile he's good, but, you know, the 3/4 last race is a little short for him. So I actually think 7/8 hits him, you know, perfectly.
Now, he's a horse that sometimes doesn't really look as though he wants to pass other horses. Is there anything that you do different with him, or you just hope for the right kind of setup?
Kind of hope for the right setup, you know. A lot of horses, sometimes they get a little, you know, at the end they kind of, you know, don't want to pass that horse. He's got a lot of second-place finishes. But I think in the morning, he's working great, so he seems to be fine in the morning. So it may just be he just has to get the right setup. Also,
talk about the pairing with Kendrick Carmouche, an aggressive rider today.
Yeah, Kendrick, you know, fits horses like this. He fits a lot of horses. You know, he could do it all, you know. I think he particularly fits this one perfectly. We drew a great post for him, too. He could break sharp and look over and see what goes and doesn't go. So hopefully it all works out in our favor.
Well, Rob, wishing you the best of luck here with Charlie River.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
And there is Kendrick on board, the co-favorite, well, actually the favorite now at 3-1, making his first start for the Robert Falcone barn. We shall see what happens here this afternoon from that outside slot. We'll have plenty of choices there as they're getting set to load up here. It is still interesting. Desert Lights at 7-2. Repel, the 7, who was actually the second choice morning line. Interesting to see him at the price he has been at. He's actually come down a little bit now. He's down to 5-1, but second start of the year for him. I know that 1-for-18 record doesn't give you a lot of confidence, but going in, he's one of the horses to beat.
Yeah, you know that movie that you've seen 18 times? You're like your favorite movie, you've seen it, and so you know every line?
Uh-huh.
That's
Wedding
Repel.
Crashers.
That's Repel. You know what's going to happen.
But a lot of those movies were made with a better cast, with better directors, and now he's dropping into a movie now with some student interns.
So now he might be the lead role.
Is that a good analogy?
Yeah, it's not
I
bad
really
now.
like this. Creative.
I just think the horse runs the same race each time. I mean, 0-for-9 last 2 years. Tough to like, especially at 5-1.
Loading up, there is the 2 La Machina Grise coming off a win on the dirt for Steve Asmussen. Going back to the turf, though, this afternoon. Favoritism, it will be the 10, it looks like here. Charnley River to the outside at 5-2. Let's send it upstairs. The late pick 4 begins here. Here's the voice of New York Racing for the call, Larry Colmus.
Bootlegger will be the next one to move into line. And the current 5-2 favorite Charnley River will be last to load here. Charnley River and Kendrick Carmouche coming up to the outside stall. And they're all in line. They're off. An awkward beginning for 'Tis Always His Way. It is Charnley River on the far outside, out sharply with Lindbergh's Kitten from the inside. River Knight is right up there, too, with Bootlegger. 4 of them tightly packed in. Lindbergh's Kitten grabs the lead. La Machina Grise back running in 5th, 4 off the top, and 3.5 to Repel. After that comes Get Game. 'Tis Always His Way is out of last, and Desert Lights trails through a 21.75 opening quarter mile. Luis Saez and Lindbergh's Kitten on top by a length and a half. Charnley River on the outside second. River Knight is third on the inside by another 2. Bootlegger follows in 4th. La Machina Grise is 5th. 5.5 lengths to make up. 2.5 back to Repel. And then it's Get Game, 'Tis Always His Way. And Desert Lights, 43.53 was the half mile. Speeding right along here is Lindbergh's Kitten, who's going to take him to the top of the stretch with Charnley River bearing down on the outside. The 2 of them turn for home. 2.5 lengths ahead of Bootlegger. La Machina Grise puts in a bit on the far outside. Repel's trying to get going too. Charnley River is taking the lead inside the final 16th, but closing in is Repel on the outside and La Machina Grise, and also Bootlegger. It is Repel and La Machina Grise now down to these 2. Repel's gonna do it. La Machina Grise was second, Bootlegger was third, Charnley River 4th in 120.33.
Repel emerges the star here of race number 6. Gets just his second win in 19 career starts. Facing a little bit easier, second off the bench, gets the job done.
That cast of interns really helped him here today, Greg.
Right?
No, this is a good race from him. They went very fast up front. I don't think those times are 100% believable, but clearly the pace did collapse, and this horse was definitely in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, Charlie River, the 10, the poor 10 put the 4 away, won the battle, but couldn't win the war. As you see the 2, the 4, 2, 7, and 9 just going to go right by, but Rappel gets the job done. At about 4-1 for Manuel Franco. Yeah, 120 and just a shade under 2. They're smoking fast on this course.
Unreal times we are seeing here. Rappel getting the job done. There's his trainer, Bobby Robato. Picture time with this 5-year-old son of elusive quality. 3-1 morning line. You get 4-1 if you happen to bet him today. Manny Franco with the victory. Charlie River was looking good, but here comes Rappel. And in the end, Charlie River does not even hit the board here. 7-2-9 top 3 finish. He checks in 4th. Rappel with the victory. Well, the prices when we come back. Smile, you just won, Bobby Robato. Well done. Nice thumbs up there. I'm going to step aside for a break. We will set up race 7 when we return, and we're getting close. Just a week away until opening day at the summer place to be at Saratoga. We'll preview it when we come back.
And they're off to New York, the premier state bred program in the United States. When you own a New York bred, your horse can run for more than $44 million in purses restricted to registered New York breds. And the New York program pays awards to breeders, owners, and stallion owners when their New York breds finish 1st, 2nd, or 3rd at New York tracks. We have the quality.
Audible, no doubt about it.
You have the opportunity. New York breds, get with the program. The best program.
The sun is shining and Bobby Robato's face is smiling here with Rappel. And Bobby, last time he was in this condition, he just lost by a neck. So he made a lot of sense here today.
So at the end of the meet last year, you know, we put him in for the 40. It's getting late in the year. If he runs there and we don't lose him, he's eligible for the starters. And we give him the winter off, bring him back. He's had some issues over his life. He's 1 for 17. Now he's 2 for 18, whatever. So, but he's fun to be around. He's a character in the barn. I really didn't want to lose him today. I'm glad we didn't. And I'm glad he won, you know, and we can still fool around with him and have some fun with him in Saratoga.
Oh, good. So pleased to hear he'll be in Saratoga. And most of your horse is owned by longtime friend and Mark Keller. For people who don't know, kind of enlighten us on that relationship.
So Mark refused to drive out from out in the island today. Friday traffic's a killer, but we won't tell Rappel that, so he won't hold it against him. But, you know, if it wasn't for Mark, you know, we wouldn't be where we are today. And he's got a true passion for the game, and there aren't enough individual owners like him left in the business, and that's what our business was built on for years, the individual owner that had true passion for the game. And it's a blessing to have him. So.
You two were college roommates, weren't you?
No, my college was right here. I went to the School of Hard Knocks.
But you know I'm going back a long time.
We go back, I guess, late 70s, early 80s we started, so it was good.
Well, it's always a pleasure to see both of you in the paddock and definitely in the winner's circle. Congrats here with Rappel.
Thank you very much. All right, guys.
All right, Greg.
Long-time partnership still paying dividends with those two. Mark Keller, the owner, Bobby Robato, the trainer, and Manny Franco aboard for the winning ride. Here's Rappel, gets just the second win of his career and returns $10.80.
Congratulations to this son of a elusive quality out of the Danehill Dancer mare, Russian Symbol, now 2 for 19 lifetime.
Set up race 7, shall we?
Okay.
6 furlongs over the inner turf New York bred entry level allowance. Coming up at Summer Suite, Joe Bravo, Mike Stidham, current 3-1 favorite.
This race is puzzling because the two horses who figured to take money, actually the 2 is 19 to 1 right now. That's crazy. But the 2 inside horses figured to be the 2 fillies or mares to beat. They're both coming in from out of town, from Monmouth races. And you just kind of wonder about the strength of the races they're coming out from. So this race is pretty puzzling.
Yeah, you could flip a coin in this race.
That bunny we just saw running away, making an early trip upstate to Saratoga, because it's going to take him a little longer to get there than it will for us. We're just a week away. Friday, July 20th, opening day at the Spa. We all know what it means. It is a mecca for horse racing. It is incredible. And here's what awaits us in just a week.
The horses. 23 races and he's placed 10 times.
It's really nice, and my kids love the new stuff here.
The ambience, the trees, the people, beautiful weather. It's great.
Fun. Good environment, good crowd.
At the Jim Dandy Bar.
There are things I should say. It's so good when we get it together. I can tell by the look in your eye that you know that I'm gonna deliver.
Watching the jockeys race.
Oh, that's official right there. What am I?
Where we all met. We all became friends here at Saratoga just from being in this very spot.
It's awesome. I love it. The atmosphere. Look at everybody here. Everybody's dolled up to the nines. I got this blazer on. I'm feeling good.
We cannot wait. Single-day tickets for Saratoga Racecourse. They're on sale now. Reserve your seat in the Grandstander Clubhouse for Saratoga's biggest events, or be one of the first to sit in the all-new exclusive area of the stretch. Make Saratoga Racecourse your summer place. Get your seats today at NYRA.com/Saratoga. And this is what we have. Fireworks on opening weekend. On Friday, of course, the Grade 3 Lake George in the Schuylerville. Saturday, first Grade 1 of the meet with the Diana. Also the Sanford for 2-year-olds. And on Sunday, the Coaching Club American Oaks. And in that Diana, you know, we talked about it over the last couple of days. Chad Brown, 7 of the 15 entries are his in the race. Sister Charlie and A Raving Beauty, they're definite for the race as we take a look at A Raving Beauty. And she's going to be awfully tough.
She is. She's coming off scores in both the Grade 3 Bogey and, of course, the Grade 1 Just a Game. And Chad Brown has had an incredible amount of success in the Diana in the past. He's won the last 2 renditions and 3 overall, of course, with Decida and Lady Eli last year.
4-star Crook, New Money Honey, they're possibles for that race as well. So he could have as many as 4 in that race. Meanwhile, the Coaching Club American Oaks, that showdown between Monomoy Girl and Midnight Bijou, likely going to happen later this summer in the Cotillion, but Monomoy Girl, we're going to see on Sunday, or next Sunday, I should say.
Yeah, and listen, the only thing that can knock Monomoy Girl off the top of the 3-year-old list is Monomoy Girl. I mean, let's be honest. I know there's a ton of good, nice 3-year-old fillies, a lot, and probably more depth. Considering Justify is completely on the top when it comes to 3-year-old colts. When it comes to fillies, Monomoy Girl is on the top. And then there's a lot chasing her, so she's still got to keep on going because Midnight Bisou has closed the gap on her, and a lot of other 3-year-olds have.
Yeah, Monomoy Girl going to bypass the Alabama. They could meet in the cotillion. That would be at Parks.
That'd be awesome.
Later in the summer. But looking forward to opening weekend. It's going to be outstanding, and it is right around the corner. Friday, July 20th is opening day. We're going to take a break. We got a lot more good action coming up here on this Twilight Friday afternoon. We will set up race 7 when we return. Saratoga Treasure. Speaking of Saratoga, she won first time out at the Spa last summer. Trying to get back in the winner's circle for the first time since for Jimmy Ryerson. We'll be back.
His record-breaking accomplishments on the racetrack paved his way here to the Stall of Legends. Now retired to stud, we welcome the dawning of a new era as this esteemed champion hopes to stake his claim to immortality. His blazing speed and striking good looks have been passed down to his remarkable first foals. Foals that will carry the flag of their famous father and one day hope to break records of their own. Medication-free and undefeated in sprint competition. Run happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
Back on Belmont Park Live. In our feature race, still to come in the Saginaw. Pat on the back, monster effort against Diversifier. Just won the Suburban last start, but he'll have to beat Twisted Tom. He is yet to do it 2 prior times in his career. Twisted Tom 7 for 10 lifetime, but he's been on the bench. This will be his first start since October of last year for Chad Brown. Greg Wolf alongside Paul LaDuca, Gabby Gaudette, Maggie Wolfendero here with us as well, and it's going to be a fun showdown to see these two go head-to-head again.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Listen, Twisted Tom, is no doubt about it. He's 5 for 6 on the dirt, and Pat on the back has improved in changing barns. I'm wondering how big of a favorite Twisted Tom will be, or how close they'll be when it comes to the wagering.
I think that effort against Diversify last time out is going to get Pat on the back a lot of attention. We'll see, though. We got race 7 before we get to our feature. This race, Inner Turf, 6 furlongs, New York bred entry-level allowance group, and wide open race in here. Summer Sweet, 5-2 favorite, but Wantagh Queen, Kendrick Carmouche will be aboard. There's a rider change. Massive price, and both you two were talking about this horse off the air. Surprised to see this horse at this big number.
Yeah, and she's looking at the doubles and the pick 3. She's 4th or 5th choice, so I think you're actually going to wind up getting a decent price on her. And look, I didn't like her initially, but if we're talking maybe above the 10-to-1 range, then I definitely think she's worth a gander here. But with her, you know, Paul, she dropped down in class to the $16,000 level. She's stepping back up here today, but I kind of like the fact that she won, and sometimes they carry them that momentum stepping back up in class.
And both times she's dropped down for a claiming level, she's run really well. I mean, gave her some confidence, I guess. It's a good race. Listen, she wins at Monmouth Park. The Monmouth shippers have done okay. Does she win it in great time? It's okay. It's 104-3. But again, these are at the time, non-winners of 3 lifetime. And maybe does give her a tiny bit of confidence. Trevor McCarthy was on her that day. Kendrick Carmouche today. You look at the rest of the field, I'm not looking at many misdirections or many world beaters in here.
Well, there's not many with even 2 wins lifetime in this field.
Yeah. So that price is ridiculous. Again, do you love the horse to win? And you can also say that Watau Queen has won 2 of her 3 starts over this turf course.
Meanwhile, 5-2 favoritism on Summer Sweet from the inside post for Mike Stidham. Comes in from Monmouth as well.
And she's been facing non-New York bred, so she finally, I guess you could say that she gets a class relief, but I don't really know how much of a class relief it actually is. And her last race, Paul, it kind of had a flow in that it set up for horses who were coming in off of the layoff, so I think it was a little bit exaggerated.
Yeah, it's tough to me to take a horse at 5-2 is your favorite. The lone win was an off-the-turf event at Hawthorne. The horse is 0 for 11 on turf and is your favorite.
Time for a paddock report. We're going to check in with Maggie Wolfendale. It's brought to you by Hillendale Farm, now standing Bayern for $25,000.
Guys, picking up where you just left off with number 1, Summer Sweet, as she returns to New York here and against New York breds once again after about of a year hiatus with trainer Mike Stidham. Physically, she looks tremendous here. I mean, she's dappled head to toe. She has the right energy level. All things look great here for Summer Sweet physically, but the main problem I have with her is the same problem I had with her when she was running here earlier on in her career. Is I don't necessarily know if turf is really her gig. I know she's a more than ready out of a Irish bred mare. I get it, but physically you look at her and she's just not that convincing on the turf. But I will say that I like her sprinting a bit more on the turf than I do long. She is just built more like a sprinting type. And then we'll check in with number 4, Citizen Matza, who was supposed to run on the turf last time in the same race as number 6, Saratoga Treasure, and another horse in here as well. But Citizen Matza and 2 other horses actually broke through the gate, and they subsequently scratched them therefore. So we had 3 late scratches going into that effort that was won by Awesome Roar. And I liked Citizen Matza that day. She looks so perfect physically for these conditions of 6 furlongs on the turf course. She has a pedigree to boot to back that up that really kind of hits my point home, and she looks tremendous here. She has like a seal-like coat where it just looks so rich and healthy, and I really like Citizen Matza here. I think she's very dangerous getting on the turf for the first time, Greg.
7-2 on Citizen Matza. Thank you, Maggie. 3-year-old filly by Proud Citizen for Roy Lerman, and shown some speed in her 2 dirt starts, most notably last time out. We're going to take a break in the action. We shall return with the post parade when we come back. Stay with us. You're watching Belmont Park Live. We'll be back.
Mastery retired undefeated, winning his 4 starts by a combined 20 lengths. A 6-figure September sale purchase, he won impressively in his 2-year-old debut at Santa Anita. From there, he captured the Grade 3 Bob Hope Stakes and completed his juvenile campaign with a dominant performance in the Grade 1 Los Alamitos Futurity. At 3, the top-rated son of Candy Ride sizzled in the San Felipe, running a 105 buyer and winning by open lengths. Mastery, new for 2018 at Claiborne Farm.
Make Naira Bets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With Naira Bets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NairaBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Naira Bets, racing's best play.
You're watching Belmont Park Live on MSG Plus, Prime Ticket, and Fox Sports San Diego. Thanks for being with us. A $200 bonus can be yours to bet any track, anywhere, anytime by opening a new NyraBets account. Getting started is easy. Be sure to enter that promo code LIVE to earn that $200 bonus. Go to nyrabets.com for all the details. Race 7. Post parade here coming up shortly. We're approaching the 6-minute mark to post. Sam the Bugler. Is he going to play a little something special for us? Is he taking a request, maybe?
He's in the stands.
Bad luck to speak over that. Summer Sweet, 2-1 for Mike Stidham. Joe Bravo aboard.
Your current favorite here, but is looking for that elusive victory on the turf, 0 for 11.
Rider change. Kendra Carmouche on Wanta Queen, 9-2 morning line. Massive price.
Yeah, Mare by Utopia here. She's 7 now, 3 for 38 lifetime, but 2 of the wins have come here.
Spot treatment. Tom Albertrani sends this one out. Broke the maiden actually on the main track.
Broke her maiden 2 starts back. Yes, sprinting on the dirt goes back to sprinting on the turf today.
Maggie liked this one. First-time turf citizen Matzo, daughter of proud citizen.
Yeah, and this one should show speed. She won her first time out, and trainer Roy Lorman was able to get her over the Saratoga training track turf, so he probably got a good feel.
Dreams are possible, 18-1 for John Toscano Jr.
This is my crazy long shot. I'll tell you why in a little bit.
Ooh, nice tease. Saratoga Treasure won the debut at Saratoga last summer for Jimmy Ryerson.
Yeah, a horse that came from way out of it was very impressive, but hasn't really progressed. And the reason why is she just has trouble getting out of the gate. And look for her late.
David Donk sends out head first. Manny Franco aboard a gate-to-wire win to break the maiden 2 back.
I thought this was a viable long shot. Since they put blinkers on this filly, she's gotten better and better. So look for her to maybe show some more speed.
Orchid Party the night. Irad Ortiz Jr. rides for Rudy Rodriguez.
It had her turf debut last time out, did not pan out well. Interesting to see her back on the turf and Irad Ortiz in the saddle.
Amber Dancer, the 10. Rajiv Mirage, Bruce Levine, the 5-year-old debut.
Well, they put the blinkers on her for the first time a while ago. It worked, and then the last 3 races are just confusing. Now she's off a long layoff.
Scripted tried the turf for the very first time last start and got a maiden score for Gary Siaka.
Yeah, surface switch actually worked out for her, but this is a big step in class. And if you like her, she's 11-1.
And Shrink, crazy long shot on the outside, I think has a chance in this race. John Hertler, Abel Liscano.
Yeah, horse 73-1 last time. You were talking about that awesome Roar race, or Maggie was. This horse was involved for a little while up on a fast pace, and she probably needed that race since she was off since November.
Yeah, second off the bench. We'll see if that speed can hang around a little longer. Here's the one, though, Summer Sweet, our 2-1 favorite.
Listen, like I said, I get it. You look at any other sheet numbers or whatever numbers you have, Summer Sweet is the best horse in here. But again, I'm looking at a horse that's never won on turf. The lone win is at Hawthorne at 70 cents on the dollar on an off-the-turf event. I'm sorry, it's tough for me to back somebody at 2-1.
I think this race is just more interesting than a 2-1 favorite that's 0 for 11 on the turf.
That's true. I mean, there's so many different ways you can go in here and get your price. I know you like a couple in here. I know she likes a crazy long shot. Okay, let's go with this. Why? After we look at the 2, Wanta Queen, as she's really not getting bet, I want to get to your long shot. This is the horse I liked a little bit. I just think she can win some races here. You know what I mean? She likes this race course. She's 5 out of 11 or 6 out of 11 in the money. Can she win the race? I don't know, but at 16-1, she can definitely hit the board.
Yeah, for sure. And she has a little bit of positional speed. The pace actually held last time out, and she still closed and ran them all down. So it was a good race, but it was definitely against inferior company.
Yeah, true.
16-1 on Wanta Queen with more on this 7-year-old mare. Let's go to Maggie.
I liked her, guys. I couldn't fault her in the paddock. I don't know why she's so DOB, dead on the board. Never a good sign when they're like that. But don't forget as well that Mike Deeney has shipped horses in to Belmont Park with success, especially his turf runners. So I think Wanta Queen, she checked every box for me as far as a horse being ready to put forth her best effort. And like I said, she knows how to win races. I mean, I know she is 3 for 38. but that's more than several others in here. As we'll also take a look at number 6, Saratoga Treasure. Now, I've been a fan of hers for her, I would say two efforts this year. And today, now kind of third off the bench, she really, really looks fit. I thought last time it was a step in the right direction at least. And also, she does get back on a firm turf course for the first time. And let's face it, this is a lightning quick turf. We'll see what plays out in front of her. She's going to need something to close into. Whether she gets that here today, that remains to be seen. Obviously, we saw a pace collapse last race. That was going 7, and it was wicked fast. So I don't know if we'll see that exact same setup here today, but I still like Saratoga Treasure. Maybe she'll sneak into the exotics, Greg.
Well, thank you, Maggie. She is 9-2 on the board, the 6-horse Saratoga Treasure. Let's get back to Gabby's long shot here. Dreams are possible. Make your case here.
This is a crazy pick. I'm not going to feel bad if she doesn't run well at 18-1. I'll feel great if she runs well at 18-1. But, okay, her last race, she was going against New York bred Restricted Stakes Company. Too tough. She was 71-1 against Creasy, who ran really well. Start before that, she went 1 mile and a 16th too far. Look back at her 7-furlong performance on April 27th. She was involved in a fast pace that fell apart, and she was beaten just a little over a length against Quality Allowance Company behind War Canoe. War Canoe actually beat the 6 in here. You're getting a fraction of the price. The 6 is 4-1, and they ran against similar company. So I just thought that there was a discrepancy there. She's got some speed, a lot to prove, but I like her.
And War Canoe is a nice horse.
War Canoe, he won the last week, if I'm not mistaken. When she showed me that, I was like, okay, I'm buying. 41-1 on that day, 17-1. But if she runs that race, she's at the wire. She is definitely right at the wire with these horses.
She is 15-1. There she is, the gray 3-year-old filly by Mission Impossible. So 4-horse. Here's Citizen Matzo, and this is the one first time on the turf. Lightly raced, just her 3rd career start this afternoon for Roy Lerman.
I think the hope is that she improves on the turf, because if she runs kind of the same races that she's been running on the dirt, she's not going to be a factor. But she is by Proud Citizen. She's kin to a stakes winner in Miss Matzabal. She's a 4-time winner on the turf, so there's definitely pedigree there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Listen, the horse is going to show speed. The 9, you see Orchid Party. Another horse that was in those tough races and didn't show much, so maybe he'll be a little bit better.
So the 9, 6-1. Coming out of the same race as the 5, who's 15-1, and the 5 finished better than the 9 in that race.
Crazy.
It's crazy. Well, it's Rudy Rodriguez and Irad Ortiz Jr., and it's John Toscano and Ruben Silvera. I'm just being honest. That's just what the public reads. And the other part is the 11, the Siaka horse. That horse was giant. And if you look at the 11, the horse completely changed form on turf, completely wanted to turf, got left, was way behind horses, and came storming home. The fact that that horse is 9-1 shows me that this horse is live. That is a live horse, the 11.
We've made the case that this is a wide open race, so you know what that means.
I know, right?
The one's going to win?
Summer Sweet.
No way.
In a romp.
I can't see
it. I think it's too wide open. We all seem to think so. We'll see what happens and how it plays out, but it is the one Summer Sweet for Mike Stidham. 5-2 favorite on the board, but a wide open race here at 6 furlongs over the inner turf. Let's send it upstairs to the voice of New York Racing for the call. Here's Larry Colmus.
Amber Dancer moving into the starting gate next. Will be followed by Dreams Are Possible. And that'll leave 2 more to go in, Scripted and Shrink, as Summer Sweet and Joe Bravo continue to be favored here at odds of 5-2 from the inside post. Here comes Shrink up to the outside stall to complete the line here. Shrink goes in, and they're all in line. They're off. Very good start. Shrink on the far outside, sharp from the gate, with Dreams Are Possible showing speed too, and then Citizen Matzo from the inside. Summer Sweet came out running in fourth along the rail. Head First is next on the far outside. Between those two, it's Wantok Queen, then Amber Dancer, Spa Treatment. Break of another two back to Orchid Party up the backstretch, and at the back of the pack, Saratoga Treasure and Scripted. So they make their way into the far turn, where it is Dreams Are Possible in front through a 21.48 quarter. Shrink takes it to him on the outside, second by 3. Citizen Matzo, third on the inside as they make their way around the turn. Then Head First in fourth by a length and a half. Followed by Summer Sweet, who saves ground right on the hedge, coming toward the top of the stretch with 5 lengths to make up. They're into the stretch, and it is Shrink. Shrink's got the lead with a furlong to run, but Summer Sweet swings up on the outside and breezes on by. Summer Sweet to the front. Shrink, Dreams Are Possible. Saratoga Treasure is next on the outside. Then comes Scripted with Late Speed coming up the rail, but it's Summer Sweet home free. Saratoga Treasure was second. Spot Treatment came on for third, and Scripted was fourth in 107.5.
Summer Sweet, the favorite, gets the win. Our two bomb-priced horses battled on the front end, kind of did each other into submission.
They did. This is the second time today that we've seen a quick pace that fell apart here, and you predicted this, Greg. We had all these creative ideas, and lo and behold, Summer Sweet gets the victory, a runaway winner.
Yeah, got tripped out very nicely. Joe Bravo was going to try to go towards the front end and decide, you know what, let me just sit behind the two horses in the speed duel, and the race was over. And wow, what a way to win your first turf race, convincing style. Now the 6 and the 3 and the 11. The 11's on the rail, the 3's going to run third. This get very close for fourth for your super. Yeah, I think it's the 11 for fourth. So 163, 11, but you're right, no doubt about it. Another fast time here in 107.50.
That was fun for a while.
Yeah.
For a while.
Summer Sweet in the end with the victory, but a 74-1 shot and an 11-1 shot. Dueling on the front end, they would eventually back up. And here comes 5-2 on Summer Sweet for the victory. We'll be back with the prices right after this. 163, still waiting on that photo for fourth. We'll make that official when we come back, in our feature race still to come, the Saginaw. Stay tuned.
Switches back to the outside. Exaggerator down to the 16th pole, but Exaggerator has turned the tables. He has won the Preakness. Peanuts has won the Travers over American Flag. Irish War Cry has won the Wood Memorial. Alice.
Good Magic's gonna win his first race, and he's gonna do it in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Back on Belmont Park Live, Joe Bravo on Summer Sweet with the win in the 7th. Let's go downstairs to Maggie.
Always a pleasure to be joined by Joe Bravo and Summer Sweet Joe, a horse that you'd ridden in her last 3 efforts. Ford trainer Mike Stidham. Did the New York breds help today?
She's really doing good, and she's getting better and better. And I think she's just learning how to win. I think she really enjoyed herself by passing horses today. Hopefully it'll bring more things to the future.
And Joe, you've kind of been floating around. Obviously, you're Jersey Joe. We know you rode this winter in Fairgrounds. Will we see you up at the spa?
Come on, I'm moving up there Monday morning, maybe even Sunday night. That's how excited I am to get to the spa.
And I'm sure we'll see you out a couple times on Caroline Street.
No comment.
Well, Joe, congratulations. Always a pleasure.
Hopefully we'll see you out there.
All right, guys.
Thanks a lot. What's on Caroline Street?
I've never heard of it.
I've never been there before.
I guess it must be somewhere in Saratoga. Again, opening days next July 20th on Friday. Summer Sweet gets the win, $7.70. 1-6-3 finish, and we're waiting to see who got 4th there. It turned out to be the 11 scripted for Gary Siaka.
Yeah, good job there. And that super pack that comes back, not bad for Dime. $137.40 as Jersey Joe.
0 for 11 on the turf.
No, yeah,
gets the win today.
Like I said, got that W in some kind of fashion, and there's your pick 5 follow along, and hasn't been hard. But here's the deal: Canarsie Kid, I think a lot of people have, but Rappel and Summer Sweet, I mean, these are both horses that don't really love the win on the surfaces, so they might play a little bit bigger. You don't know.
What could have been in a race we thought was so wide open. Our feature's next. This is going to be a great duel between Pat on the Back and Twisted Tom, although no one appears to believe that Pat on the Back has a shot. Twisted Tom beat him 2 times before and beat him convincingly. The difference, Pat on the Back coming off the performance of his life, and Twisted Tom's coming off a long layoff.
Gabby Gaudette's money? 1-9?
Not mine, that's for sure.
Wow. That is a hammer job on Twisted Tom. We'll talk more about the Saginaw, our featured race. Mile and the 16th coming up, and the rematch between Pat on the Back and Twisted Tom for trainer Chad Brown when we come back.
This 3-time graded stakes winning millionaire defeated 20 Grade 1 winners. In the Dixie Stakes, he defeated Canadian champion and horse of the year Up With the Birds and set a new course record at Saratoga. Runner-up in the Grade 1 Manhattan and Shadwell Turf Mile, Ironicus ran 7 triple-digit buyers, including this score in the Fort Marcy Stakes. Half to 4 graded stakes winners, Ironicus has the speed, class, and bloodlines to become the next great sire by Distorted Humor. Ironicus at Claiborne Farm.
Back on Belmont Park Live, presented by Claiborne Farm. 100 years of doing the usual unusually well. Time for what's trending on the show. Thunder Snow is trending. Your winner of the Dubai World Cup won that race in track record time. Looks like we're going to see him in the States, being pointed to the Jockey Club Gold Cup and then likely the Breeders' Cup Classic if all goes well.
You know, remember how many memes, as we know we're now in 2018, were made of this horse out of the Kentucky Derby when he was bucking out of the gate and then he does this in the Dubai Classic. He's obviously a real racehorse, Gabby.
Well, hopefully he doesn't get deja vu all over
Right.
again, because the Breeders' Cup Classic is obviously going to be at Churchill Downs
Oh,
this year.
good point. I didn't even think about that.
So
But,
we'll see.
you know, obviously, second time around, hopefully it will help because he's obviously very talented. Hopefully we see the real Thunder Snow.
September 29th, Jockey Club Gold Cup. He's looking to get back into action at Deauville on August the 12th, but then 2 state starts likely if all goes well. This is the now horse and maybe the best 3-year-old in the world, dare I say.
Oh.
Alpha Centauri, 4th consecutive Group 1 win with a win in the Falmouth Stakes at Newmarket. Wins by 4.5 lengths, and off this win is now the early favorite for the Breeders' Cup Mile.
And in this win, I believe she was 4-9. So that just goes to show you where her odds and her domination overseas. She took on foes in the Coronation Stakes at Royal Ascot and followed that up with a very impressive win at Newmarket. She looks like a very exciting prospect.
I jest, by the way. Don't I want everyone to get mad at me. I was kidding about that. Best 3-year-old filly.
Okay.
Filly. You sure about that?
On the turf.
Okay.
Pretty incredible. I mean, that if anyone saw that Coronation at Royal Ascot and what she did to that field, that was just sensational.
No, that's the thing, is she's decimated 3 Grade 1 fields in a row. So, I mean, we're looking at a 6 Perfections. We're looking at like a Goldlakova type. We don't know what we're getting at. And we've seen the Europeans. What have they loved? They love that Churchill Downs turf course.
Jessica Harrington, her trainer, says she gets worried sometimes because she almost seems like she's too relaxed before a race. But then you see her run, and she certainly wakes up fast. We're going to take a break in the action. We will return to Saginaw, our feature race. Coming up, Twisted Tom, pat on the back, going head-to-head. Twisted Tom's handled him. Pat on the back each of the 2 prior times they have met. But now the question of the layoff for this 4-year-old son of Creative Cause. Stay with us.
His record-breaking accomplishments on the racetrack paved his way here to the Stall of Legends. Now retired to stud, we welcome the dawning of a new era as this esteemed champion hopes to stake his claim to immortality. His blazing speed and striking good looks have been passed down to his remarkable first foals. Foals that will carry the flag of their famous father and one day hope to break records of their own. Medication-free and undefeated in sprint competition. Run happy, standing at Claiborne Farm.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With NyraBets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. Get a $200 new member sign-up bonus on NyraBets.com.
Diversifying on the outside takes the lead at the top of the stretch. Fox Rules on the inside is second. Diversify on the outside takes the lead at the top of the stretch. Fox Rules on the inside is second. Break of 3 to Gypsum Johnny, who's running in third and trying to put in a bid. And on the far outside, it's Papa Shot. Diversify comes by the 8th pole in front. Gypsum Johnny is closing the gap on the outside. Fox Rules has the rail. And in the center of the track, it's Papa Shot. But as they come down to the line, it's Diversify, who's going to win the Saginaw by 2.5 lengths over Papa Shot.
That was Diversify winning last year's edition of the Saginaw. And of course, he has turned into a monster. When the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup, people thought he was starting to tail off, and then he ran monstrous in the Suburban.
Well, it just shows you speed can kill, and he just put himself on the front end, and he gets brave. Whenever he has the lead at the top of the lane, he does exactly what you just saw.
Well, this is a look at Diversify in his another big moment for him in the Suburban. This was a very deep, good field he beat as well.
It was a very deep field, and the thing about him is that when he does get to the lead, and especially here at Belmont with these wide sweeping turns, he can extend his stride, and you can just see the confidence kind of well up inside of him, and that's what we saw from him, obviously, in the Suburban. He looks like he's on track for an exciting second half of the season.
It's going to be very interesting what other connections are going to do, because they know now that this is a real racehorse when he's left alone. You can see opportunity to run fourth there. He was the only one that made up any ground. The thing about this horse, he can be so freaky at certain times, and it's because when he's left alone on the front end, I'm wondering if other connections are going to be like, we have to send somebody after Diversify, because if we let this happen again, it doesn't matter how fast he goes. He went insanely fast for the 6 furlongs, just kept going.
And this performance has them thinking Whitney later in the summer. An incredible performance and very happy connections with that win. So he looks like he is going to be a factor in the handicap division. Pat on the back, he just faced Diversify in the commentator back on May 28th, and he gave him a real run for his money.
He did, but this was Diversify's second race off of the layoff. His first race back was in the Charlestown Classic. Didn't work out for him too well. So you think that he still had a little bit of rust on him, meaning Diversify. But Pat on the back, he did run a really good race. To me, though, Paul, it's almost like last time was the time. He got a good setup. He was going into the race fresh. It was a mile. Now he has to stretch out to a mile and a 16th. He looks like he runs better races, shorter distances. I don't know. What do you do with him today?
I don't know. When you look at this race, you could see Diversify swap back to his wrong lead there towards the end, and was Pat on the back really going by? That's my worry. The thing you have to love about the one, he's not off the board at Belmont, so he does love this oval. So maybe he can be the upsetter. I'm surprised to see the horse right in front of him just went by. The 5 is, the same price.
Time for a Paddock report. It's brought to you by Hillendale Farm, now standing Curlin for $150,000. Let's go to Maggie Wolfendale.
1-5 on Twisted Tom, coming back off that layoff as of now here in today's Saginaw Stakes. And guys, I can't complain about that, because he looks like much the horse to beat here. He was a horse that was just all kind of legs and frame last year, and he's really hung some muscle mass on that now as a 4-year-old. And he's just done everything you want a horse to do, coming back in from a 3 to 4-year-old break. He looks fit here. He's alert. He's, I don't want to say sharp, because that's not necessarily his disposition, but he knows why he's here. He's got his game face on, that's for sure. As his main competition to his inside is number 1, Pat on the back, whom I think has looked great this year. I mean, and since going into the barn of Jeremiah Englehart, he's stopped getting so nervous pre-race in the preliminaries. He doesn't wash out as much. He doesn't get as revved up, and I think that's good for him, and he conserves some of that energy overall. I will say, though, that second time in a row, he does have those front bandages on as well. But I can see the disparity in odds, because Twisted Tom does look that good here, Greg.
Wow, 1-5, and from a look standpoint, backing it up in the paddock. That's a positive sign. As we take a look at the other players in this race, here's Hit It once more, a 5-year-old. Twisted Tom and Pat on the back, both 4-year-olds. For Gary Siaka, John Velasquez will be aboard.
He looks like the speed of the speed to me. That said, his last 3 races, he has not shown a lick of speed. This is a horse who used to be pretty fast. I mean, he was about a length in front of everybody else on a fast pace going a mile, and last time out it was a mile and a 16th, and he was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, he's a tough horse to read. They put blinkers on him a while ago, and it did seem like it helped. And you're seeing him wire field in the Haynes field, and he's just not. Is he going to be able to get away with that, or is he going to have the competition behind him? Can you dig it within that field?
And an off track. He loves off tracks.
Yeah, it's off track. His turf efforts were not good. Maybe you can draw a line through that. Timeline, Taprit, Hoffenheim, I get it. Those are maybe a little bit better horses, but I don't really know. Taprit and Timeline both disappointed last week.
He is 9-1 on the board. He went turf to dirt last time out, mile and a 16th here at Belmont, and he did not show up in that race, but against, as Paul said, against some pretty tough horses. Meanwhile, why not on the outside for George Weaver? He's been in entry-level allowance races, 3-time winner in his career. He's coming off a second as a beaten favorite back on July the 7th.
And yes, he was the beaten favorite. Exalting actually ran a really good race, the eventual winner of that particular first level allowance race. The interesting thing about him is that we very infrequently see George Weaver wheel horses back off of quick rest. This horse is, what, coming off of 6 days? So it kind of gives you the feeling that maybe he's doing well and they're trying to get some black type on his form.
Yeah, and I was looking at the horse's race at Saratoga, and it's by far his worst race, and I'm wondering if George is like, okay, let me get another race into this horse at Belmont because he likes this racetrack way better than Saratoga. That's why I was kept looking at the 5, thinking maybe this is the sneaky horse in here, and obviously the betting is telling you that.
5-1 right. He's the same price as Pat on the back, who is considerably more accomplished, and what, at least certainly with the recency, what he has done. Take a look at the Belmont Showdown standings. Again, you can play this each and every day on our show. Go to NYRA.com/showdown, and you're playing for real prizes. Again, we've seen things change big time here. If we get an upset in this last race, Twisted Tom does not win, anybody's alive here.
It's true. Bottom 2 there, the Mets and the Yankees going at it.
$200 sign-up bonus. Use the promo code LIVE to take advantage of that. Get signed up and started and play with Naira Bets. Here comes our post parade for the Saginaw. And we're going to begin cannot talk over that. I'm sorry. It's bad luck. Pat on the back kicks things off here. Dylan Davis, Jeremiah Englehart.
Did Greg suddenly get superstitious on Friday the 13th? I think so. But one pat on the back coming in off of an impressive second last out.
Especially on this day, I have to do that. Twisted Tom, 1-5 for Chad Brown. He's 7 for 10 in his career.
Yeah, 5 for 6 over dirt. The one to beat, definitely. And Blinkers has just changed this horse's life around.
Hit it once more. The 3-horse for John Velasquez aboard for Gary Siaka in Yellow Moon Stable.
Looks like the speed of the speed. I saw him doing a rain dance last night, but it didn't work out.
Loves that off track, not getting it here. Fullback Foy Nick Zito, huge long shot at 27-1 with Manny Franco.
I love Nick. I love Manny. I love everything about the connections here, but this horse should be about 250-1.
Why not is the 5 Kendrick Carmouche for George Weaver in that quick return for West Point Thoroughbreds.
Yeah, last out ran on the 7th of July, so wheeling back right around, but faces much tougher today.
And that's your field. 5 of them lining up. We shall see. Twisted Tom, winner of the New York Derby last year, won the Albany at Saratoga. And he ended his 2017 campaign with a win in the Empire Classic as well, beating Control Group.
I can remember before the private terms, because I was ironically there at Laurel to cover the private terms, and Chad Brown was saying that, you know, this horse is just kind of a plotter. He's a stayer. He doesn't really have any type of move. And wouldn't you know it, quarter pole, this horse just flies from off of the pace. Now, the pace did collapse in front of him, but I thought that that was kind of, it really opened the door for him for a successful second half of the season. And he just kept on getting better.
I'm starting to think that Chad just tells you the opposite.
Maybe.
Why not? Meanwhile, 5-1 on the board with more. Let's go to Maggie.
Pleased to be joined by Joe Migliore of West Point Thoroughbreds. And Joe, before we get to why not, talk a little bit about your role with West Point.
So I've been working with West Point for 4 years now, and primarily as a partner representative. So any horses we buy, looking to sell shares and get people involved in the game, and then take care of them once they are involved, and really, get a big satisfaction out of bringing people to the track and having a good time, and hopefully getting to the winner's circle.
Well, Joe, I can say firsthand you've excelled at that, but I'm going to toss you a little softball here, but why not back on such short rest?
Just obviously the short field, an opportunity, at a $100,000 stake. It's actually going to be his first stakes try. He's always been a New York bred we thought could, reach this point in his career. And, he's been a hard trier. Often at times when he was younger was maybe a little frustrating, but we gave him some time off after the summer last year, and he's really just rewarded us. He came back with a really big effort, off the layoff, and then was second the other day with a trip that I don't think was exactly ideal for him. He was kind of buried inside, and I think he's a horse that, being drawn outside today, he, really keeps his forward, momentum going. You got to keep the train moving along. He's a big, strong horse, but excited about his effort today, and we thought it was worth the risk, taking him back in a week.
I meant softball as you could have said, why not?
Of course, why not? Bring him back in a week.
Very true. And, I noticed he is that bigger, heavier type of horse. Now, third off the layoff, do you think that now is a prime time to strike with him?
It could be ideal. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he came out with a really big effort today. I know we are running against, two very tough horses down on the inside. Pat on the back was just a nose off Diversify. So, this is still a tough field, albeit a short one, and, don't count why not out.
All right, Joe. Well, thanks for joining us. Best of luck here.
Thanks so much, Maggie.
All right, guys.
All right, so 5-1 on Why Not. We shall see. The quick return raced just 6 days ago, trying to get a piece of this, and who knows, maybe more. We've seen crazier things happen. We'll be back with the Saginaw next.
And they're off in New York. The premier state bred program in the United States. When you own a New York bred, your horse can run for more than $44 million in purses, restricted to registered New York breds. And the New York program pays awards to breeders, owners, and stallion owners when their New York breds finish first, second, or third at New York tracks. We have the quality. Audible, no doubt about it. You have the opportunity. New York breds, get with the program. The best program.
Turning for home in front. Coast of New York on the outside. California Chrome is third. Shared Belief laboring back here in fifth. 1 furlong to run. Bayern, Coast of New York. California Chrome on the outside. The three of them come to the wire. Bayern, Coast of New York. California Chrome. Here's the finish. Bayern holds on.
You're watching Belmont Park Live on MSG Plus, Prime Ticket in Fox Sports San Diego. Thanks for being with us here on this Friday afternoon. Greg Wolf, Paul LaDuca, Gabby Gaudette, and Maggie Wolfendale with you in our feature race, the Saginaw, coming up 1-2. It's been odds-on favoritism throughout for the two-horse Twisted Tommy's won 6 of his last 7 starts, and 5 of those wins have come in stakes races.
He's going to be a handful. He really is. And like you said, he's very sharp. He's a stumble. He was 9-1 in the Belmont last year, and he had a bad stumble, so you don't really know. If you draw a line through that, he's 6 for 6 in blinkers, and That's why he's won the 2.
He's won all throughout his career, but he's getting faster and faster with experience. So you would think that if he picks up where he left off, he could even improve off of his 3-year-old numbers.
I wonder, yeah, if he runs big here. I mean, Chad tried him against the Belmont competition. His 3-year-old, would he ever get a chance to move up and try tougher? Pat on the back is his main competition this afternoon. He's already beat him twice before. He did that in the New York Derby and the Albany last year. Will the 4-year-old season now, he be able to turn the tables?
I'm going to play devil's advocate because I said reasons why not to like him last time out. But what if Jeremiah Engelhardt has just improved this horse and he's going to maybe turn the corner this year?
Yeah, that's the key. The key is the horse does like Belmont, and I think that might be a feather in his cap and Twisted Tom off the layoff. I think that's the only way the 1 beats the 2.
Yeah. Twisted Tom may need it. Pat on the back looks like he certainly has gotten better in that run against Diversifying the Commentator. The rematch between these two. Here we go. It's the Saginaw. Let's set it upstairs to the voice of New York Racing for the call. Larry Colmus.
They're all in line. They're off in the Saginaw. Pat on the back bobbled just a bit coming out of the gate. It will be hit it once more to grab the lead. Pat on the back away running in second on the inside. Why Not is third. Twisted Tom will be fourth early on. Fullback Foy trails the field. Up top, it is hit it once more. Sent to the lead by John Velasquez on top, a length and a half. Pat on the back guided outside by Dylan Davis to sit second with Why Not just outside of him. Twisted Tom will be fourth. 4.5 lengths from the front and clear of fullback Foy through a quarter of 23.55 seconds. So Hit It Once More leads by 2 up the backstretch. Pat on the back keeps Why Not company second and third. Twisted Tom is fourth right now. Jose Ortiz starting to handride him a bit. He's about 6 lengths off the lead, moving for the far turn. Now he's really starting to pump on him. The trailer is fullback Foy. 46.13 was the half. Around the far turn, Hit It Once More, a half a length. Pat on the back, second between horses. Why Not goes up on the outside. Twisted Tom continues to race under pressure. He's 4 lengths behind this trio. He is getting a bit closer, though, and it's a long way back to fullback Foy. They make their way to the top of the stretch. On the inside, Pat on the back now goes up to grab the lead. Pat on the back to the front as they make their way to the top of the stretch from Hit It Once More. It's 2 lengths more back to Why Not. Twisted Tom is still back there in fourth, not keeping up. Pat on the back comes by the 8th pole in front. Hit It Once More tries to battle on from the inside. Why Not is third. It's not Twisted Tom's day. They're coming to the finish, and it's going to be Pat on the back. Dylan Davis and Pat on the back take the Saginaw. Why Not got second. Hit It Once More was third. And Twisted Tom ends up fourth in 141.73.
Pat on the back. He did all the dirty work up front, and he able to hang around in the end and get the win here. Twisted Tom, not today off the layoff.
Yeah, there was just nothing in the tank for Twisted Tom at all. Jose Ortiz was asking left-handed at the top of the lane while Dylan Davis broke sharply. He pushed Johnny V and Hit It Once More, who ran gamely here, Gabby, for third. And Dylan did the right thing, just had the best horse, went to the front and won.
I kind of feel like once the gates opened, you knew how this race would end because Pat on the back showed speed. He was forwardly placed, whereas Twisted Tom, he showed nothing.
And he didn't even get out of the gate clean. He almost went to his knees out of the gate.
Yeah, Pat on the back did. He got up quickly, but Twisted Tom, yeah, listen, sometimes you got to take a chance against the 3 to 5 shot when the horse hasn't run in a while, and that's what happens. You can see, look at Jose Ortiz. He is grinding and hitting on the 2, the horse that's in fourth right now. But right here, you can tell that Pat on the back is a horse that doesn't really love to win races, or is it the 3 Hit It Once More battling back? Maybe a little bit of both.
I think it might be the 1 1/16. I do question how far and how long Pat on the back wants to go, so maybe he was getting a little bit weary-legged coming down the stretch, but still, that goes to show you his heart and his resilience there. Good performance from him.
Turns the tables, third time the charm. Keep your eyes on the 1. So here's Pat on the back, and here's the very beginning of the race. Did not start great with Dylan Davis.
Yeah, you can see Larry Colmus called it immediately. Great call by Larry, saying that the horse did stumble a little bit, but recovered very well. And again, good call by West Point. They got the second place money there. Why not in a $100,000 purse?
How about that? 1-5-3-2, 3 to 5 favorite finishes fourth in the field of 5. Pat on the back gets his first win ever over Twisted Tom. And he gets the Saginaw to add to his resume. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with prices right after this here on Belmont Park Live.
Grade 1 winner Lee traveled the world competing against the best of his generation. A graded stakes winner on both dirt and turf, he set a new track record in the Grade 1 Don Handicap and retired with earnings of more than $2.3 million. With his much-anticipated first foals hitting the ground this year, the sky is the limit for this promising young stallion, Lee, at Claiborne Farm.
Make NyraBets your home for online horse racing and betting. Start earning your sign-up bonus right now. With NyraBets, you can use our state-of-the-art website to bet on live horse racing at over 200 tracks around the world. Bet anywhere, anytime, using your computer or mobile device. Earn valuable reward points on bets. Build your bankroll with our exclusive promotions and earn cash rebates. Sign up now at NyraBets.com and start earning your sign-up bonus now. NyraBets, racing's best play.
Back on Belmont Park Live, our show brought to you each and every day in part by champion sprinter Run Happy on the farm in Claiborne in Paris, Kentucky. Going to see his progeny soon. Set a track record in a Breeders' Cup sprint at Keeneland. He was sensational in sprints, never lost sprinting in his career, and did it all while running without the use of Lasix medication. In the Saginaw, it was pat on the back, turning the tables for the first time in his career on Twisted Tom, and winning for the 5th time in 19 starts.
Yeah, congratulations to the son. Congrats on the awesome again mare accomplished. Mr. Howard Lerner, 8WC Stables. Dylan Davis aboard, and you're right, finally conquers Twisted Tom. Now 2 for 7, has never missed the board at Belmont. Why not? Runs second, and your favorite's off the board, and there was no bridge jumping, but there is your late pick 5 follow along. We are alive to 1 horse, but it's not paying what we thought, but we can still maybe get Greg a steak and some chickpeas and Brussels sprouts on the side.
I'll take it. 73,700 plus in that pool. Let's go downstairs to Maggie Wolfendale.
And here with Dylan Davis, who was aboard, pat on the back here today, as you've been many times. But Dylan, what made the difference today?
Well, he's just a great horse. He's one of my favorite horses, and I just wanted to play off the break. I know he's pretty speedy out of there, but I saw he hit it once more, wanted to take the lead. Was pretty dominant about it, so I wanted to let him get going, and I got it towards the outside. And he's just a fighter. He just does everything great. I just wanted to start him early before the quarter pole because I was a little worried about Twisted Tom maybe coming in late, but I just wanted to get him going, and he held on great. So,
Dylan, job well done here in the Saginaw. Congrats.
Thank you, Mag.
All right, Greg.
All right, Maggie, thank you very much. Well done from that young man. Dylan Davis continuing to get better and better as time goes on. You can watch the finale, see how this card plays out on the Nyra Now app, because we're going to be signing off here very shortly. We're about 23 minutes to post, though, so head to the Nyra Now app, see what happens in race number 9, which is 7 furlongs on the turf. State bred 40 maiden claimer, where Skatsuku for Linda Rice, the 6, is a heavy favorite. Belmont Showdown online contest standings, and
Bravo.
how many there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-way tie. So congrats to everybody. Just get your name on that board. is a win.
I wanted to just
in
get
the
on
top
the
10.
board.
I played today. I was nowhere near it.
Okay.
Pat on the back. Turning the tables on Twisted Tom for the first time in his career, and he has improved certainly as a 4-year-old. Now in the barn of Jeremiah Engelhart, owned by Harold Lerner. We will see you tomorrow on Saturday with the Forbidden Apple. We're back at 4 Eastern time. We will see you then.